Hey, it's Father Taylor, and today's an especially sunny Thursday, April 20th, and it's time for your weekly eBlast, sometimes called, I don't know, what's happening this weekend and beyond. So anyway, here's a little pieces going on. So thank you to everybody who held down the fort while I was gone last week. I had a great time being away, went down, was able to get some time with my sister down in the hills, Blue Ridge Mountains of North Carolina. So a great time, plenty of adventures we had messing around down there. So coming up this week, today's Thursday, tomorrow night, Friday, from 6 to 8 is the visitation for the family of Larry Gerard. Larry, of course, the husband of Sharon, father of Charles, people who are integral members of our church population. Larry helped out in different places. First time I met him, he was dressed as a knight at a trunk or treat a couple of years back. His illness came on suddenly, and we were all surprised with how fast he went to be with the Lord. And so we are praying for the whole family, and we are going to tomorrow night, Friday night, 6 to 8. That's when we're having visitation. That means that lots of people will come as guests. And so while our community gathers, and we're there to support the family, and you know that this is also affects Laurie and her family, Sharon's sister, as we're there to support the family, we're also there to be a community that welcomes people who aren't from our church, who sometimes come and just walking into a church cold and not sure. So we just want to make sure that we are there welcoming. So even if you're not an official usher or greeter, just be on the lookout for people you may not have met before, just to be welcoming to them and thanking them for coming to support the family. On Saturday, beginning at 10 o'clock, that will be the service of Christian burial for Larry. And all burials, actually in all weddings, are community events, but we good to be able to be present there for Sharon, Laurie, Charles, the whole extended family. So we're just praying for all of them. Sunday. So first of all, thank you for last week for all the folks that shared last Sunday. I did not watch the video, but I've gotten some great feedback for those 4 folks who got up and shared their reflections. They did basically dwelling in the Word over a period of a week or so, and they got to share that in church as part of a sermon. So I think we should have more lay people up in church, and we should expect to see more lay folks in church. You may not know this, but there is a huge difference between numbers of church needing priests and numbers of priests available, which may mean in the future that churches do less and less with having a clergy person to hold everything down for them. Trinity has a long tradition of having some tremendously gifted people who don't wear collars. And so it's not a huge step for us to have more and more of our folks who are already great disciples, and some of them disciple makers, to be able to share in our worship service. So thank you to our great 4 people who sort of got, I'll say they volunteered, it's a little voluntold. So anyway, so thank you for being there. This Sunday is the introduction to something which will follow the next 3 Sundays for our after church program. And I'm calling it Taking the Next Step. And so we in the past, we've had a word that we used and meant that you were part of a parish. Sometimes it's an official word, so it gets classified in a certain way for legal reasons, and that has to do with membership. So there's a whole legal understanding of our church, which has nothing to do with worship, and that is our church is basically a 401c3. It has to fulfill certain criteria. You have to have a definition of what is a member, and that has to do with voting and property and all that kind of stuff. In the day-to-day, we work together as a community. And particularly, I would say that ever since many of you have been here, the church has worked together with lots of people, both giving and receiving as a community. We come to know Jesus, really, not just because we sit at home and read books on theology or even pray. We come to know Jesus, as Jesus said, where 2 or 3 are gathered in my name, there I'm in the midst. And so the church is never meant a building. It's always been about the called out people who have responded to the call of Jesus. So that means church, take away the pictures of steeples, there's always been a group of people. It's been a community. Cultures change. The gospel doesn't change. The God's announcement of what he's doing in the world never changes, but how we respond to that and how we adapt to what's going on in the world always changes. And so we're looking again at what does it mean to be a member? So there are some people here who have come into our church, and you may be one of them, who've been coming to church, I don't know, 5, 6, 7 years. And we consider you members, but we've never helped define what does it mean to be a member. And we have some people who are newer, who are around, and they say things like, well, what does it mean to be a member? Younger people don't think in terms of, I'm an Episcopalian. They may think of themselves as Christian, but they don't think about like, what are the technical terms? What does it mean to be a member? Well, we're defining all that, and we have just some really basic stuff. It means taking the next step. So if you're a person who if you've been here for 20 years and you're still not sure what we understand as members today, not 20 years ago, but today, you should come to that class. What does it mean to be a member of Trinity Church in this age and time in 2023, post-COVID? What does it mean to be a member? You should come to that. If you're a person who has just started recently investigating our church, you're not sure what you believe, you're not sure what does it mean to be a member? It's just all those are just questions and you haven't resolved them. Well, tell you what, you should come. If you're a person who says, look, I've been around for a couple of years or a couple of weeks, and I really want to join this group, you should definitely come. So that the people coming to our taking next steps, that's a wide range of people. So I'm inviting you all to come to an introduction about that this Sunday following the 9:15 service. You might say, well, I've been going there a long time. I don't need to go to this. I would say, like, if you're not, we're all learning what it means, what the whole new way of being a church community in this day and age means. So we're just making a circle and we're saying, for right now, we're coming to understanding this is what it means now. That means lots of people should be showing up Sunday after 9:15. If you are new, you should be able to come. Here's what we're providing. We have childcare. And I got to tell you, the kids who come, particularly to not just church, but also to after church events, most of them don't want to go home. They're making friends. If they live in the area, some of them already know each other. So we've had a lot of little guys who have just been having a blast while mom and dad are inside. The kids come in, they grab something to eat, and they go and they hang out, and we have some great people leading them. We also still have the great breakfast. So at minimum, you get bagels, but we've been doing breakfast of late, and Man has been running that show, for 4 or 5 months now. So this Sunday, introduction to taking the next step, TNS. How about that? TNS. And we still have that within our Balfour format. That is to say, it's still with a breakfast right after church. Expect to see a lot of you there to come and say, we have questions. What is this all about? And if you're new, we definitely want you to be there. So that's this Sunday after the 9:15. And then the next 3 Sundays, we're going to go a little deeper with that, with a short version of, so what is a Christian? What is an Episcopalian? And what is a member? And so I just really want to let you guys know, and I really hope that everybody can turn out for that. So we're still praying for those who have suffered loss. Remember that other folks who have also suffered loss within the last year or two, these funerals, this is just a reminder of the grieving process that we're going through. So may God's presence and grace be with us. And I hope to see you Friday night, maybe Saturday, definitely Sunday. Okay, bye for now.